Hello and welcome to episode 30 of the By the Lakeside podcast. My name is Sandy and this is a podcast about my knitting and making that takes place here in my studio in my home, which is by the lake just outside of Toronto in Canada. I am just enjoying a coffee in this beautiful mug that I really wanted to share. It's a little bit sunny here, but it's a beautiful mug from David's Tea that my sweet friend Eric from Sticks Plus Twine gifted me. And it's a David's Tea mug. It's beautiful. It has a tea infuser, but I'm drinking some coffee, so I've got the lid here so it doesn't get cold while I'm podcasting, but it's beautiful. I think this is the Nordic mug. It's really nice. So I just made myself a coffee. It has been really difficult to sit down to podcast. I've been meaning to for weeks, and I was supposed to a couple of weeks ago when school started, but I got hit with a nasty cold, so wasn't really feeling like podcasting and was just trying to rest. And then after that, the boys got sick one at a time. Luckily, my husband has not been sick, so let's just keep our fingers crossed there because we all know what a sick husband can be like. So I think I'm finally recovered. It was just a sinus cold, but it kind of hits me hard when I get a cold. And I guess because of all the running around it. During that time, I had a shop update as well, so I've been really busy getting the boys settled into school and all that good stuff. So needless to say, I have not been knitting that much because when I was sick, I really wasn't feeling like it and I was so tired at night. So I felt like I didn't really have a lot of knitting content for you guys today. But I thought I would sit down with you. I might be a little bit chatty at the end because I have tons of things that I have been loving, some favorites, some new things, just stuff that I really wanted to share with you. So when I get to that point, I will let you know. And if you're not interested and you're only here for the knitting and sewing, then you can stop the video at that point. So let me tell you where you can find me. On Instagram, I am Sandy by the Lakeside. On Ravelry, I am Sandyran. And my website, where I have handmade project bags and tote bags, sometimes notions, pouches, that is bythelakeside.com. I feel very out of practice with this, so bear with me. Okay, so let's start with my whips and what I'm still currently working on. Not a lot has changed, but I did want to share something exciting with my TECUMSEH. This is a very popular sweater by Caitlin Hunter, who is BOYLANDKNITWORKS, or is it Boyland Knits? I'll put it up on the screen because I'm not too sure. So I've shown this sweater multiple times. I had put it down for a little bit just because I think I was overwhelmed with all of my projects and I took a break from it, but now I am back and very happy to report that I have split for my sleeves just last night. Super happy about it. I think now I will pick up the pace a little bit and keep going. So I remember Chelsea and Sue from Legacy Fiber Arts. On one of their recent podcasts, they were both showing their TECUMSEHs and had noticed that when they split for the sleeves, it was slightly off center to the short row shaping at the back neck. So I was really cautious about that because I thought that is exactly something I would do, and I do not want to get too far in the pattern and have to rip back. So once I got to the part where you split for the sleeves, I did a quick count. I put the stitch markers in, and sure enough, I was off just like they were. I did read some of the comments on their podcast listing, or their video, I mean, and there were some suggestions or reasons as to why. To be honest, I'm not really sure why. I'm not the most experienced knitter, and I felt like I followed the instructions well, and I think I might have just missed sort of finishing a row or knitting back or something like that. So it was not a big deal to fix this. All I did was sort of the part where you start to split for your sleeves, there's a certain number of stitches you knit, and then you place a marker for your sleeve. Well, I stopped at that point, and that's where I checked, and when I noticed it was off, that part happened to be center back. So all I really did was find my center back here, follow it, and that's where I was already. So I just kind of shifted my beginning of round stitch marker and continued, and it looks completely fine now. So really happy with it. I did the second repeat here, and then here I've split, and I've started a couple rows. So I'm anxious. I think I'm just gonna zip through this next section quite easily. It'll be the quick part for me, and then I'll be excited to do the third row, or the third repeat of the little pluses and the feathers. And I'm just really happy that this is split for sleeves now, because I think I'm going to, I think I have a rejuvenated excitement over this project. Not that it really went away, but I think just with the busyness of the last few weeks, I just haven't really been into knitting so much. So, and I was sewing a lot. So I tend to do that. When I'm sewing and I have an update, I do it to the max, and I sew like crazy to the point that I'm so tired and I'm achy, and I don't feel like knitting at night because I've kind of done my my creative making for the day. And actually, people have told me, slow down and take care of yourself, and I do, but I actually think that's what motivates me. I love when I have big projects, and I just kind of immerse myself in them. So all is good, and I think I'm finally back. Just yesterday and over this past weekend, today is Monday, so I think on Saturday a little bit, and Sunday I started knitting again, and I feel very excited. My next whip you've also seen, it's in one of my project bags, and it is the A Girl's Best Friend shawl by ISABEL KRAEMER, and I absolutely adore these yarns and this pattern so much. I was a little bit worried a couple of weeks ago when I put this down that I might have been off, but I continued in my stitch count here, the lace patch, and I think I'm okay. I've counted it. I think things are even, so I think I'm just gonna progress, and I'm gonna put in a lifeline because I keep meaning to, and I keep forgetting. But this is just the most beautiful shawl, and I cannot wait to wear this one. It's really, really luxurious, and I'm loving the colors. I know I've shown them before, and I do have project pages for these set up on Ravelry if you're interested, if it goes by too quickly. I have had people, very few, but I've had a couple of people ask me for show notes, and it's just, podcasting takes so much time for me right now, and it takes away time from things I should be doing at home and with my family. And so I love doing it, and I put things up on the screen, and I hope that, you know, you can, if you need to, you can pause it if it goes by too quickly, for color names or yarns, but you can find all of my projects on Ravelry. This color here is a Julie Asselin. It's called Broom. It is the Pheno base. Oops. I got this one from ESPACE TRICOT. There we go. Broom, spelled that way. These two are Madeline Tosh, Merino Light, and Twist Light. I've got two different bases. This one is Scout, the pink, and this one is Ginger. So, loving this project. It did get put on hold for quite some time, and I think I've got the energy to put into I want to work on my TECUMSEH right now, but this is a close second. I really want to get to working on this. Unfortunately, the lace pattern requires a lot of concentration for me, so it requires some dedicated, quiet time to work on that one. It's not something I will do with too many people around or in front of the TV, so that's what's slowing me down on that project. This project, I love this bag. This is my Zigzag Stitches box bag. Also purchased at ESPACE TRICOT a couple of years ago. This is my BAYOU shawl. Let's see here. This one is by LEILA RAABE. and I am using Quince Kestrel in the color Quill. And I was working away on this one quite nicely. Sorry about that. Quite nicely this summer. It was sort of my backyard patio knitting while I watched James play soccer in the back quite a bit. And I was doing really, really well on it, but I feel like because of the yarn, I feel like it might get put on hold for a little while, which is okay, but it's not something I'd be wearing in the winter. It is beautiful though. I'm loving this project. I've got my little Pop-Tart from the Gnome Knitter here. Oh, there it is. Oh, the lighting is really bright today. So this one I'm loving, but I am actually gonna put this on hold. But I do love it. It's going to make a comeback. I have not been into socks at all, but I've been starting to think about socks. So I do have a basket filled with sock whips. I've started a lot. So I do have guilt in starting any new ones right now until I at least finish one. So I pulled out one that I absolutely adore, and I've shown it many times. And it's probably the one sock whip that I have that is closest to being finished. So I already have the first sock. This is Scrumptious Pearl. The color is Come Sail Away. I adore this colorway, and this sock is beautiful. So I pulled it out. I started the heel flap. That's why I tend to put them aside when it's time to do the heel flap and I see another beautiful sock yarn and I get distracted and cast that on, but I really want to have a couple pairs ready for the colder weather, which is approaching. Mind you, today is so humid. I think it's 28 degrees plus the humidity. I'm not even sure. It's not very nice today, but it's beautifully sunny. So this, I think I'm just gonna devote a little bit of time. I do have a vacation coming in less than 2 weeks and I really wanna bring a sock with me. So I'm actually hoping that I can maybe finish this sock before we go and then bring a new sock, because I think that would be fun for vacation knitting. And I really wanna cast something on. I'll show you a couple of yarns that I'm considering right now. And the pattern that I use always for my vanilla sock is the Susan B. Anderson How I Make My Socks, which you can find on her blog. I don't think you can find it on Ravelry, but if you just go to the, if you Google Susan B. Anderson How I Make My Socks, you will find this pattern. It just works for me. It fits really well. And I use a 2.25 millimeter. These are Knit Pro Zings, and I like them, these DPNs. I also like using magic loops, but I just have different projects on different needles. And so that is my sock whip that I am trying to get the heel done so I can just finish it quickly and move on. Because I'm actually already thinking about Christmas socks. I am not, in case you didn't notice, I am not a really fast knitter. And so I was thinking it might make sense to start a pair of Christmas socks in September in order to have them ready for Christmas. We'll see. My other whip that I've just been taking along with me because it's super easy is in one of my new project bags. These were in my last shop update, and I love this blue and white print so much. I just find it so clean and refreshing, and it is the socket hat. And I have been I cast this on so long ago and I totally forgot I even had it. The yarn here is by a homespun house, and this is this is It's Okay to Be Alone. That's what this is. Took me a moment, and I don't have the tag here, but it's beautiful. Look at those colors. So this has been my soccer knitting because I'm on heels on all my socks. So it's just been my easy go-to knitting, but I don't enjoy knitting rib very much, and so that's why I think this is taking me a long time too. Once I get past the ribbing, which I think I have just a couple more inches to do, maybe 2 more inches, then I think this will fly off my needles because it is beautiful. And I'm not sure if my son will wear this, but I was gonna try it out on him, and if not, then I will take it. So that is my one of my current whips. Other things that have been keeping me busy that I have been making were project bags for my last update, and they've all sold by now. It's been a little while, but I wanted to thank everyone for shopping. And I actually wanted, because I think I have quite a few new followers recently, and I'm going to do a little giveaway for that later on. I just wanted to go over a couple of things for my shop. If you didn't know, I am no longer on Etsy, and my shop is now located on my website, which is bythelakeside.com. So you can go directly there and click on shop. It will take you right to the shop. But I also have a blog there, and that's where I am selling my bags. I do not currently do custom orders, so I do get quite a few messages because I know it's hard to know which bags will sell out so quickly. There's always a few there that don't all sell right away, but there's always 1 or 2 prints that do. And I always feel badly if you were hoping to get one and you didn't get one, but I do try to repeat the ones that I can if the fabric is still available. And just the way, because of the way that I work, I have a fashion background, and I really have set up my studio here to be really production based. So I do all of the cutting, you know, for a couple of days. I cut dozens and dozens and dozens, as many as I can possibly manage. And then I spend, you know, time doing all of the bags in stages. So I'm really set up sort of in the way of a production line, and it's really difficult to do, you know, one-offs or even just cutting for one more bag. So I do apologize because I know that's a little bit disappointing, but I'm just not able to, due to time and due to the number of bags that I'm currently making, I'm not able to do special orders or custom orders or anything like that. I think that covers the shop stuff. If you do have a question about my shop, the best place to ask would be through my website. Other places, sometimes the messages get lost. Direct messages on Instagram are very unreliable, I've been noticing. So if you do have a question, you can definitely go through my website and contact me through there. Other than that, I just wanted to show you a couple of bags that were in the update last time because I didn't do a podcast in between. And the reason I'm showing them now, even though you can't get them, is I have ordered some more fabric, and I've also kept these ones for myself because I loved them so much. So I showed this one last time, and I really didn't have many. I think I only had 2 for this last update, but I have managed to get a little bit more fabric of this Monstera leaf by Rifle Paper Company. So I'm really excited about that, and that one's mine. And I will have some more of those in the shop eventually. This one I don't have any more fabric, but it was such a beautiful print, also from Rifle Paper Company, that I decided to keep one for myself. I just love that scenery. And then this one I am absolutely in love with also. This one sold very quickly. It's also a Rifle Paper Company floral print, and I did order more of this. So I don't have it yet. I don't know when I will be able to make them, but it is on order, and I will definitely bring this one back to the shop because I think it's a winner. It's beautiful. So those are all mine, and I kept this one too. And I just think it's fun. I think it's fun, and I'm trying to use my bags for myself more often. So that covers my knitting projects, what I've been sewing and working on in my studio here. And I do have a vacation coming up, like I mentioned, and I'm super excited about the knitting because I think it's going to be a really relaxed vacation. We are going to Cape Cod, and other than, you know, going out for dinner and going to the beach, it's going to be pretty chill. So I have been doing a lot of dream knitting. totally depends on what I get done before we go away. I'm probably going to bring my Tecumseh sweater if that's not finished. I have a feeling I'll be working on sleeves, so that would be a great project to bring and spend lots of time on the beach knitting sleeves. And I actually don't mind knitting sleeves, so hopefully that will be good. I don't think I'm gonna bring my A Girl's Best Friend shawl because it's really not mindless, and I don't think that's the type of knitting I want to do on this vacation. If I do finish my Scrumptious Purl socks, I pulled out these because these ones are some of my more recent Scrumptious Purl yarns that I love, and I would love to start one of these. This one is really calling me, but this one kind of reminds me of Cape Cod, so I don't know yet. This is the Stripe Me Up in the color Bird's Nest, and I love birds, so I think that would be fun. And this one is called Poolside, and we will be poolside as well as beachside, so this could be a contender. So those are two possible yarns that I would love to bring as a new sock cast on. This I showed you last time. It's the Legacy Fiber Arts Steel Toes sock set, and this was one of the Halloween colors called Beetlejuice, 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 and I love this. This is one of my all-time favorite colors ever, ever, ever. I have a shirt this color, I have nail polish this color. I love it. It's so beautiful, and I really want to make a tiny tassels. So I'm not sure. I have this feeling of I should probably focus on my adventurous wrap if I want mindless knitting, but this would be really fun to knit as well. However, I also recently showed you these beautiful yarns that I got from Chelsea Yarns in New Jersey, and Christina sent me this beautiful combination of spin cycle yarns. The colors are, let's see. So these are the sport weight 100% American wool superwashed. There's the tag. So this one is Deep Bump. This one is Payback. It's gray. And this one is Melancholia. And I really want to make the Shift Cowl, which is by Andrea Mowry. And I'm pretty sure this is going with me in this bag to Cape Cod. So this is going to be definitely a new project. So maybe I just bring this one, my Tecumseh to work on the sleeves, and a new sock. What do you think? You guys can let me know, because I just want to knit all the new things, and I'm not going to let myself yet because I love my current whips and I need to get a handle on some of them. So that's some of my dream knitting, and I'm really enjoying my current stuff too. So I'm in a really good place. I think I'm finally back into knitting mode. Another thing I would like to share with you guys today comes from the podcast Meanwhile at the Castle, which is hosted by Emily and Deborah. They are amazing knitters and lovely, lovely people. They really are wonderful, and I've only recently discovered them. They've been doing this for quite some time, and I mentioned them on a previous podcast of mine. So since that time, I have chatted with them and discovered that they are doing this amazing kind of a movement that they are talking about on their podcast, which is called Kindness is Like Sugar, where they are sharing random acts of kindness. And I just thought it was such a refreshing topic because, I don't know about you, but I cannot turn on the TV or read an article without feeling really heavy and weighed down by some of the things that are going on in this world. There is a lot of sadness and there is a lot of struggle, and I've always been a person who likes to surround myself with others who have some of the same core values that I do, and kindness is definitely one of them. But I thought that this was a fantastic way to kind of bring that topic to the forefront and maybe focus on that, because it can kind of get lost in the shuffle of busy days and busy lives, and that's a whole other topic because I am really striving to simplify and slow things down, and that's really helping to showcase random acts of kindness, because when you slow down, all of a sudden you really have more time to think about others, to think about yourself. So I wanted to take a moment today and share a random act of kindness that I've experienced, and I wanted to share it with you. So I have a friend who is also named Sandra, and I've known her for many, many years, but over the last year or two, we have spent a bit more time together and just grown a little bit closer because she is an avid knitter and a crocheter, and we just have a lot of the same interests. So she is lovely. She is a mom of 3. She has pets, she has a home to take care of, she has a full-time job, and she makes project bags. So she is one busy lady. But I have to share that no matter how busy she is, she recognized in me that I was, not feeling great the last few weeks. I have been working really hard and trying to increase the number of bags that I'm making, and the kids are back at school, so my little helping hands are gone. And Sandra was so kind that she actually offered an afternoon of her time to spend with me and help me with cutting and bundling, organizing and sewing, and whatever it is that she could do to help. She offered herself to do that, and I just thought that was so kind and so amazing, because for one, she's just as busy as I am, maybe more, maybe, like whatever. Everybody's got their own stuff going on. We're all busy, but she has her own life and her own stuff to do. And she just, offered this amazing thing, which meant so much to me that, she probably doesn't even realize, but I was actually tearing up when I got her text message, because I just thought, wow, isn't that amazing that she's gonna come over? So it was hard, but I accepted her offer, and she's gonna come over one day and help me a little bit, and I'm gonna not allow her to help too much, and hopefully we can just get in some knitting time together too. But I wanted to share that because those things that are, just random acts of kindness, of time and caring, means so much to people. And so I just thought that was amazing, and I wanted to share that with you guys. I also wanted to share, on this note of random acts of kindness, that I now have over 7,000 subscribers, and I thought, what better time to do a little giveaway and spread a little bit of kindness. So I wasn't even sure what I was going to ask to be, of you to be entered into this, but I'm thinking the easiest place for me to tally up and do a random number generator thing would be on Ravelry. So my Ravelry group is By the Lakeside. So if you'd like to enter to win this project bag, so it's the same one that I kept for myself, which is this one. I kept one aside to do a little giveaway. And I've also got, and I guess this is another random act of kindness, from Molly Klein, who is Molly Klein Designs on Ravelry. She has so generously donated one of her latest patterns, which is called the Dainty Dots Cowl. I'm sorry I don't have color to show you, but it looks like a really beautiful, quick, somewhat quick project for fall, which is great. You can find her on Instagram as Molly Klein Design. On Ravelry, she's also Molly Klein Design, and she has an Etsy shop as well, which is Molly Klein Design. So I am going to pick one winner from the Ravelry group. I will start a thread today so that you can enter to win this little package. And I would love it if you, in your entry, could tell me if someone has performed a random act of kindness for you. And if they haven't, that's okay. You can just say hi and enter to win. But if there is something that you'd like to share, something that someone has done for you, I think it's really nice to share that kind of stuff too. So I would love it if you would enter over on Ravelry, and I probably won't draw a winner until my next podcast, which, because I'm on vacation, it could be about 3 or 4 weeks from now. So there you go. That is something I wanted to share. And speaking of the ladies from Meanwhile at the Castle, both Emily and Deborah have a yarn dyeing business of their own individually. And Deborah has recently launched her line of progress keepers and yarn, and it's so beautifully done. I really wanted to share this lovely gift that she sent me. So first of all, here is her card. It's called Candy Shop Yarns. And I really wanted to share all of this with you today because I just thought her packaging, her branding, everything about this is so beautifully done that I had to share it. So it's Candy Shop Yarns. She sent me a beautiful, beautiful card. And her yarn here is called, this one is Liquid Candy Pistachio. And it's the simple syrup base. It's an 80-20 merino nylon, and the pistachio is the color. It's so beautiful. And I love how everything is themed with candy. Now this just blew my mind. On this little card that says Penny Candy is a stitch marker. And can you see that? I am just amazed by this. It's so beautiful that I think I'm actually going to keep it on a project bag because I don't even think I want to put this on my knitting. I just can't believe those little licorice all sorts in there. Oh my gosh, they are amazing. So thank you so much, Deborah. It was such a fun package to receive, and was also a random act of kindness. Okay, I think that kind of covers the knitting content, any sewing that I've been doing with the bags. So if you're not interested in sort of random things, you might want to check out now because I have a couple of books that I've picked up, some of my favorite things, and they're more related to journals, planners, even some beauty products. I think that's it. Yeah. So if you are not interested in that, feel free to click off, and thank you for joining. And if you are, let's get into this because I have some fun things to share. So first of all, this magazine, which is a beautiful magazine called In Her Studio, and I think, I could be wrong. Oh, it is. It's the premiere issue. So it's volume 1, issue 1. I had seen this at my local supermarket and kind of flipped through it quickly and thought, oh, that's beautiful. But it's a little bit pricey for a magazine. It's more of like you wouldn't throw this out. This is a forever keep magazine. And I looked at it and I left it and I thought, oh, maybe I'll come back for it. And then I got a message from a wonderful viewer who said, did you know that you were mentioned in this magazine? So when I went back to the store, sure enough, I kind of flipped through it quickly and I found this really beautiful story called Stitch by Stitch by MISSLEELA. She's got a beautiful workspace. Oh my gosh. And right here, she mentioned some of her favorite creative podcasts, and By the Lakeside was mentioned. So I thought that was really fun. And I wanted to say thank you, MISSLEELA, if you are watching this one. Your place is beautiful, and I have now found you on Instagram and am happy to follow along on your creative making. Let's just see here. She has an Etsy shop, which is called MISSLEELA_handmade.etsy.com. And on Instagram, she is MISSLEELA_handmade. So it's a beautiful magazine. If you are in Canada, I had to look at a couple of stores to find it again because I couldn't remember where I had first seen it. And I saw it at a Shoppers Drug Mart. And I also found it at the Real Canadian Superstore. So I couldn't find it at Chapters, which was kind of interesting. Second of all, for beautiful creative publications, I picked up this book. And it's funny, I've been wanting this book. It's called Handmade Getaway. It's It's by Karen Valino from the Workroom and Jacqueline Sava-Clark, who is the business lady behind soak products. So all those wonderful soak washes and the spray, I use it for getting out creases, like instead of a starch. Anyways, these two ladies I think have been friends for many years and have been working on this book. And I really wanted to get it, but I just figured, oh, I would get it one day, and there was no rush. I hadn't seen it in person, I think that was why. But I happened to be at a store on Queen Street a few weeks ago for a journaling meetup at a store called Paper Plus Cloth. And it's actually the store where the Workroom used to be before they moved. So it was kind of interesting, and I guess that's their connection. And when Rowena at that store was showing the book to me, she pointed out that she had these limited edition copies. And they were signed, and it had this beautiful little bookmark in it. And so I thought, well, what a nice place to get it. And then I have this special copy, but it's a beautiful book, just for the photography, for the inspiration. Even I don't have a cottage, and I don't really bring sewing with me when I go camping. But this book is so beautiful, and some of the projects, and there's even, you know, menu ideas and things like that for when you're away. Some cute projects. I just thought it was a beautiful book. It's got patterns in here that you can cut out. And if you do like a variety of sewing projects, I think this is a great book. This one is just gorgeous. I would love to make that one day. So I wanted to share that because this is a recent purchase and I love it. It's really, really inspiring and beautiful. And I haven't even really spent that much time flipping through it, but I think I might even bring it on my vacation with me because it just feels like a great book for that. This one is a little unrelated to making, but I had seen this on Instagram somewhere, and what drew me in this book was really the cover, I will admit it. And then I started reading some reviews and testimonials from people that had read it. So it is First We Make the Beast Beautiful, A New Journey Through Anxiety by Sarah Wilson. And I don't really I've never really identified myself as someone as having major anxiety, but I do know that one of my boys suffers from anxiety. And in the last few months, I've been actually wondering if I have, you know, subtle signs of some anxiety. I think everyone to some extent has some. And so I thought this might be really interesting, you know, for him or for everyone in the house, just to kind of get a handle on this topic, which seems to be ever growing in popularity, but still not really understood completely. So I'm excited. This is going to be coming with me on vacation as a beach read. And that's it for books. I hope you guys don't mind me sharing all of these favorite things. I just find that sometimes I show things on Instagram and I get so many questions that this would be a good opportunity to share some of my favorites. So the next category of favorites is surrounding a couple of beauty products, or I was gonna say self-care. They're not really self-care, beauty. So I normally use, I'm a huge lover of the brand Fresh. I've talked about their sea berry oil that I use on my face, and I've always loved the rose toner. So it's a big bottle of this liquid that you spray on your face. It's kind of like a refreshing mist. It hydrates. You can use it under makeup, over makeup. And I wanted to get another one because I finished my old one. And it's not cheap because it's a big bottle. So I thought I would try a new one. And it's by this brand that I've been seeing a lot of recently. It's called HERBIVORE. And it's the Rose Hibiscus Coconut Water Hydrating Face Mist. So I think I love it. It's really, really good. It was half the price, although it is much smaller. But I thought this would tide me over. I could test it out and see if I liked it, because I didn't really want to buy the big bottle. I think the big bottle of the fresh one is $49 Canadian, and this was 20. So it's a winner. I love it. And people that know me, that have ever been on a flight with me or worked in an office with me, know that I love mists. I love them. They're like, oh, I have really dry skin and they make me feel refreshed. They actually help my skin, and then they smell so good. It's kind of like a little bit of a treat. So I hope that didn't look weird when I did that. Another favorite product that I'm really slowly growing to love is this Honey Savior by Pharmacy. And it's a huge tube. I had a small one. I liked it. It was really growing on me, and I had walked by this in a store, and I thought, I'm gonna just get the big one because I think this is gonna be perfect over the winter. I've been using it all summer on little dry patches. Sometimes I get like a dry patch right here. I don't know if it's from shampoo or from hair products, but I've been using it. When I had my cold, horrible sinus cold, I was completely red all here. So at night or throughout the day, I would just put a little bit of this all-in-one skin repair salve on those dry red patches. If your lips are chapped, your cuticles, it's amazing. I love it. And I'm kind of getting into some of these green products where they are, you know, you can actually read what's in them. The ingredients are not too scary. I have one makeup product just because I thought I would share. Why not? So I have just recently been into this brand. I've heard about them. It's called Nude Sticks, and they have all kinds of sticks of different things. So like cheek color, they have pencils for your eyes, pencils for your cheeks and lips. And I picked up this all over face color, which is actually like a highlighter. It's called Hey Honey. You know, I stayed away from highlighters for a while because I found some of them too glittery or too kind of young for me. I know you can wear anything at any age, but just for me, I didn't like the way that they looked on my skin. And this is like a cream stick, and there's no glitter in it, but it's just this beautiful shimmer that I sometimes put. I have it on now. I don't know if you can kind of see it here, but it just kind of livens up your face a little bit, and it doesn't accentuate any lines or anything like that. And I thought it was really a fun product. And what I like about it is it has the stick on one end, and the other end has this brush, so you can kind of blur out a little bit, and you don't have like a stripe across your face. So I've been loving this. This has been my summer go-to, and I think I'm going to continue with it through fall because I really enjoy it. So the next few things I want to show you are kind of all grouped into planners, journals, leather covers, and accessories. It has been my latest obsession again. I kind of go in waves, and I think because September was approaching, it made me start thinking again about my planner, and I've been wanting a new cover for my planner for quite some time. I've been obsessed with these leather covers from Sojourner. I've shown them a lot on Instagram, and I think I've shown them on some of my podcasts before too, but I really wanted this style, which is a folio with a designer pocket. This is the Sojourner brand marking here, branding. And it's got this beautiful pocket, and I asked for one that had markings because I love them. And this is for my planner. So my birthday is next week, and I always, well, I haven't always, but now I always purchase myself something special for my birthday, because that way you know exactly what you're getting. And I just think, I don't know, I just think it's a good thing to do for yourself. Because I know my husband would have bought it for me, but there's just something about picking something out for your own birthday that I find really, really nice. I think it's a way of me telling myself, like, you know, you've put money aside and you've worked really hard, and now, you know, you get to treat yourself to something special. And this was it. This is so beautiful. I have not stopped carrying this around. It goes room to room with me. It's so beautiful. I've gone back to my Hobonichi planner, so that's what's in here now, and it's, you know, a little messy because I've gone in and out and in and out, but I was inspired to go back to the Hobonichi system from a friend. Her name is Lori, and she's on Instagram as Love to Plan Lori. I'm gonna double check that and put it on the screen to make sure I've got the wording of that right. She's got, in her Insta stories, she's got a saved Insta story on her profile page of how she uses her Hobonichi and her flip through, and I just loved it. It completely inspired me. So she uses the, in the Hobonichi that I have, which is the cousin, it's the A5, you have, I'm gonna flip to an empty one. You have your monthly spread. You have a weekly spread, which is like this. And then you also have a daily spread. And at times when I haven't really needed it, it seems like a waste, and I use it for notes, but a lot of the pages would go wasted. So the way that Lori's using it and the way that I'm now using it is I'm filling in my monthly and my weekly with my planner stuff. So whatever appointments and whatever's going on, meal plans, things like that. And then within the monthly pages, and I'm going to be careful not to show you too much because some of them were totally experimental and I do not like them, but that's okay. So in the month, the daily spreads are here. I've just been popping in, you know, little pictures that I print out on my sprocket. First day of school, for example, and some artwork. This is artwork from Courtney Diaz. Some of them I haven't completed yet. I need to go back and finish them. But when I did a shop update, I kind of put some notes in here about it and some pictures. Over here, you know, I had rearranged my paint palette and got a haircut. So I just kind of put in my colors in the new order. We went to a soccer game. So I'm just really, I'm still figuring out how I want to document each day because there are days that I don't have pictures that I really want to put in. But you know, I got a new paint palette, so I decided to swatch out the colors and I stuck that in as a tip-in. I'm just really enjoying, that because I feel like I forget a lot of stuff, and this has been a great way to kind of combine the planning and the typical daily stuff that needs to be organized along with some of the things that are going on in our lives. So I am loving this. If I didn't say, the website where I got this is Sojourner. I think it's sojourner.usa.net. I will put it up on the screen. And on Instagram, she is Rowena. And yeah, it's a designer, no, it's a folio with a designer pocket. So I am loving this. Now, one of the things I also wanted to show you, and I've mentioned them before, but I have more now and I really want to share. My other friend, Babette, who has her own business, this is her card. It's called Not Just Knots. She makes these beautiful monkey fists. So I had these ones made for this one, for this planner. They're done in this beautiful leather cord, and she has so many colors that you can pick out. This one is a 2-color one that I picked up the colors for. I just think that they are so pretty, and they remind me of balls of yarn. So I really love them. I think I showed these before. This is another little Sojourner that I have. And in here I keep a few field notes books, and I use this to kind of keep track of business things. I've got some business cards in here, suppliers, notes when I'm listening to podcasts and I want to jot down books and things like that. This is just a really cute, small field notes with a leather cover that I keep at my desk here in my studio. And then this one here is also one of my favorite covers, and I've got the navy blue. This one's called Pacifica. I love these. This one actually, there are 2 different sizes. So she's got like a smaller and a larger one here, whereas on this one, they're both the same size. So Babette does these beautifully. You can check out her website. It is notjustknots.net. And she also does, I don't know if you noticed, these beautiful paper clips. I love them. So I just think they're so much fun. They're beautifully made. And they really, anything to decorate, you know, anything to decorate your planner. This one here is more of an art journal for me, so it's like a sketchbook kind of. I just keep track of different things. This is the book I've showed before where I even put in my Make 9, which is completely changed. But again, I just put pictures, doodles, paint swatches and things like that. Really simple, nothing too fancy, but I really wanted to share those monkey fists. I have another I have another planner that's on its way, and I had these ones made for that. These are the Pacifica with a moss green. They're beautiful. So if you are into planners and you like these, you should check out. They come beautifully packaged, and she's got beautiful designs. She has stickers now available. Actually, I have some here I should show you. If you like stickers for your planners, she also makes these beautiful, she paints them, and then they come in these little tiny versions too that you can put in your planners or wherever. So I'm really loving her shop. I wanted to share her shop with you because she's recently gone to work full-time for her shop, which is amazing. And I think she's just a wonderfully creative person and a great human being. So if you are interested in stickers and these monkey fists, you should definitely check out her website and show her some love. And if you do, let me know, because I would love to know what colors you pick too, because I think they're just beautiful. I've gone to a couple of meetups with her and Lori and some other lovely ladies from the city, and I'm just amazed. It's just kind of inspired me to pick up my books a little bit more and to decorate them and have fun with them. And yeah, I think they're beautiful. I think when you have tools and things that you really love. Oh, this here too. If you're not familiar, this is a beautiful ruler with a stencil from the Travelers Company, which is Midori. Used to be Midori Travelers Company, and now it's just Travelers Company. But all of these beautiful textures and handmade things to go with them. Just really, it's kind of like you're knitting, you know, when you want a beautiful bag and stitch markers and good knitting needles. It's really nice when you can have quality and handmade products, but just loving this. Look at that. Okay, the last thing I'm going to share is I actually got a new bag. And I wanted to share just because it's fall and I just thought it was so pretty. I got it at Fossil, and it is like a satchel, and I love it. I cannot get enough of it. You can use it with the handles, you can use it with, there's a shoulder strap, and it's just the perfect size for me. I like a big bag and I love to carry too much stuff all the time. So this one is not monstrous, but it is big enough to carry just about everything that I need. So I've got one of my pouches in here. I've got my makeup bag, which I don't always bring with me, but I've got a change purse and some extra cards. And actually, I've recently moved over from a traditional wallet to the traveler's notebook in the passport size. So I bought the blue version, and it's I don't know if you can see there, traveler's notebook. I think it's adorable, and so far I am really liking it. I've got card holders in here. It's just been great, and there's little spots where I can keep more things, but not change. So that's why I have a little change purse. Oops, what am I doing here? So I'm actually really enjoying this. This is something new for me. But what I love about it is it has all that stuff was in the center, and then you've got these kind of pockets at the front and the back where you can keep smaller things, and I was very excited that even though it's quite big, this fits right in the back slot. So there it is. Yeah, so I thought I would share. I just thought it was a fun fall purchase, and if you do purchase a fossil bag at an actual fossil store, they will actually engrave your initials for you. So I had this engraved with my initials, and I think it's going to be a great piece for many, many years. So I think that covers all of my favorite things. I know there were a lot today. I hope that wasn't too much for you guys, but I will keep you posted on Instagram about my next shop update. I'm not quite sure right now because I do have a vacation in less than 2 weeks. We'll be gone for just over a week, and so it might push a shop update a week or two for me. But I'm hoping to have something in October. I hope you guys are all doing well and you enter the giveaway. So check out the Ravelry group by the Lakeside and enter to win the bag and the pattern by Molly Klein Design. And I will see you after my vacation. I hope you guys are well, and thank you for watching.